Okay, we are live. Hey,
Hi.
we're joined by the Black Moth, Paige Mahoney, and also Pages with Paige.
Oh, wait, I should change that. Hold on.
Yeah, change your little title there. Black Moth. Very good. Uh,
I am the representative of Paige Mahoney when she is Paige, not as Black Moth, where she is completely impromptu and unable to make an accurate decision to save her life.
she's wearing her dissimulator.
But I think it's strange is how low my mouth is. My mouth's like here.
Can you
Uh,
actually breathe?
can
I'm
you?
not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to last with this for very long because you can't even hear what I'm saying. I can't talk
This
with it
is,
either.
this is for dramatic effect.
This
Yes.
is great. I'm loving life.
And Zoe's here. Hey. Looking forward to this book discussion. I'm kind of looking forward to it, but also not. I
Oh,
love all of you so much.
oh God. Oh no.
You know what's so funny about this? Okay, I'll
Yes,
take the
I
mask off.
do. Would you like to tell everyone what is so funny about this?
Oh, maybe I'll put it back on again a little later. What's so funny about this is that up to this point, my favorite one was the first one. And now my
I,
favorite one is this by
I
far, by
know what
far.
you're gonna say. Yeah.
And it's like we don't like the same ones at all.
I
You
was
like the ones that
just
I didn't like.
I was just looking back at my star ratings, like including the novellas. So it was 4, 4, no, it was 4, 3, 4, 5, 5, and now 3.
Oh,
Oh, I want to see
Oh,
what mine are now. Let me
it's been
see.
all over the board.
I'm gonna
until
take a look.
I double check on mine.
Okay, internet, come on. Let's see the bone season.
Oh, this was Zoe's favorite. I feel like this is going to be the common theme, and I'm feeling like I'm going to be at odds here tonight, and that's why I was kind of like, "Oh, I'm kind of looking forward to this discussion."
Everybody's
It's
just
good
tuning in now.
because
I
then
gotta
we
get
can.
prepared again. Hold on.
Oh yeah, the Black Moth is actually here with us tonight. This was Zoe's favorite. Stacy's here. Sorry, I'm gonna miss this chat. I have an early morning flight and have to head to bed. We'll watch later. Have fun discussing this installment. Oh, be safe travels, Stacy. Leanna is here. Leanna in the house. So, uh,
I'm looking
yeah,
at my rating.
let us know how you rated the Mass Falling, where it falls as far as your favorites of the series so far, etc.
I was talking with Cara about the series as well, and she can't remember anything from the like. She remembers some of the first, some of the second, and then nothing. But she gave them all 5 stars. Like she gave it
Really?
was a like 4 5 star series. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm almost home, so I'll be able to jump on the live. Won't be a second.
I think Leanna has noticed that the Black Moth is with us today.
They're
I'm
fabulous.
just trying to figure out my ratings for everything.
Oh, Paige has left us momentarily.
Okay, here's my ratings. Whew, that is hot. Not made
Oh,
for people with
Sandy's here. Hey. Hello. Love the Black Moth, Amy. 5 stars from Sandy. Okay, so Zoe's favorite, Sandy 5 stars.
My favorite.
Amy's favorite.
Okay, so I gave the first one Pale Dreamer. Pale Dreamer 4 stars. I gave the Bone Season 4.5. I gave the next one the Mime Order 3.75, the Song Rising 4 stars, the Dawn Course 4.5, and the Mask Falling 5 stars.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So yours has progressed nicely.
Yeah.
Yours
Except for
makes
the Mask
sense.
Falling. Well, it's weird because I usually, like, if it's not often though that I give a book later on in a series a 5 stars and I didn't give like the first one a 5 star.
Yeah. I don't know if I should wait till Paige gets back to like really start diving into this. Like for me, this felt very middle bookish to me.
Uh-huh. And it didn't for me, but yeah, tell do tell.
Do tell.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so I was trying to think back over it today because I just finished it today. So first of all, I had trouble getting through it, which is never a good sign, right? And I was thinking back over it today and I'm like, okay, what did we actually accomplish in this book? Like, how did we move the plot forward? Because I'm thinking, like, to me, the big accomplishment was that the London syndicate and the Paris syndicate have now joined forces. So, like, Paige and Amy,
Yes.
you're going to have to help me with the French, but I think it means the old orphan. They have, like,
Yes.
joined forces. That was another thing that completely threw me off about this book. If I'm actually really glad that I was reading the ebook because I could highlight certain French, phrases and immediately like search the web and like translate this. But that was very time consuming and I think took away from my overall enjoyment. I think she has improved as a writer with each book that comes out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was definitely feeling like that after the Song Rising. Like I loved the Song Rising so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I felt like I really saw the progress in this book of her writing.
Oh, sorry, Paige. She's like sitting here, and I'm like so distracted by my rant.
It was fine.
Hi.
I needed to set up my tech stuff anyway, so it was good.
Oh, okay, good. Chaos incarnate and impulsive. Love. Love.
Let's see. I'm just jumping into my story graph to see if I've got my accurate ratings for my books. 4 stars for the Bone Season, 4.5 for the Mime Order, 5 stars for the Mask Falling, 4 stars for the Song Rising, 4 stars for the Pale Dreamer, 4 stars for the Dawn Chorus. Yeah, so this was the highest one for me.
Same.
Yeah.
5 stars was the Song Rising, right?
Yes.
What's it? Who? What? Sorry.
Danielle.
Yeah. Yep. And actually, the Dawn Course too.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'd say for me, like overall, the series has been like a 4-star series.
Yeah, it wasn't until this one that I was like, I mean, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't be at all interested in continuing the series, but if we weren't reading it together, I don't think I would have been as quick to continue on after the second book. My Order. I would have slowed down. And I may have just forgotten to continue, you know what I mean?
Right.
It happens.
Yeah. This book has me ready for more. And like this book is, I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I'm enjoying it as much as I was enjoying some of the other series we've read. So, but it's taken a long time to get there.
So with that and with being ready for more, how did you, I'm just going to cut to the chase. How did you interpret the ending?
Oh, that Kate is a dreamwalker for one. And I wasn't sure if Nishira was using his ability when she had, I don't know if that's possible. I don't think it is. So Kate had to have been nearby when he was controlling. But you can be kind of nearby and not necessarily be in the same building, as Paige has shown us multiple times. And apparently, Kate is way more. At least he has way more control over his ability than Paige does. And I know that Arcturus is not dead. Like, you know, the interpretation is that he is. But I know he's not, because I refuse to believe that he is. That would be stupid.
So was it Portugal and Spain that initiated the airstrike?
Well, I remember the Domino program, one of the people, Dukos probably, I don't remember, one of those people from Dukos saying that a lot of what you're seeing in the Scion media is conflated, you know? They're saying, oh, we're winning this, we're doing that, we're taking over this, we're taking over that, but it's very conflated by Scion, which makes sense because they're going to want everybody to believe that they're these amazing heroes, and I think that there is a bigger force, or there's a lot more going on that Scion is not letting the people see. And maybe even not even their own people, or maybe they're just completely delusional and think that they really are the best. They're not seeing that other groups are forming these alliances that have a lot more power. I don't know if it's Spain and Portugal, but I don't believe that we were getting the news that was accurate the whole time we were, hearing the news. I don't think it's, I was thinking, how Menard and the woman from Sweden were coming together because they want to kill the Refame. I don't think it was anybody
Daughter lady?
Yeah. I don't think it was anybody that had anything to do with Scion at all, like trying to come against, because they wouldn't have attacked Menard's, so I think it has to be some allied group, maybe with Domino program kind of initiating, because the reason I think Domino program has something to do with it was because Cordier comes at the very end and she gives White Aster to Paige and she says this had to happen, it's going to be really painful.
Was that not Ducot, or was that
No,
not
Cordier?
You're saying it was the doctor?
No, the doctor's name was Cordier.
Yes.
Then yeah, it was the doctor.
Really?
And gave White Aster.
That was not how I read that at all. Zoe says, if you control the media, you can control the narrative. So true. That reminds me, like, have you guys ever watched the show Homeland?
I haven't watched it, but I know of it.
That reminds me of I don't know what season we're on right now, like 6 or so, but that reminds me of what's going on that show.
You're alive. Cordier blew out fog. The only one here, by the looks of it, a stroke of luck for both of us. Blah, blah, blah. Stand up, get up. And then she goes, I'm sorry, Paige, I have to do this. She said, her voice almost tender and no longer French. It's for your own good. I promise everything that happens next is for good. So that tells me.
I'm glad you looked that up, because I read that as being
Ducos.
Or Ducot, yeah. Like,
I mean, they're part of the same program, right? So, like, it still would have been a Domino program thing.
Bless you.
So, yeah. So then who all is involved in this? It's got to be countries with really big power. Or at least, I don't know, it sounds like there were a lot of bombs.
Yeah. Well, and Zeke and Nadine were going back to London, but they
US. Well,
also
yeah,
were
yeah.
talking about
Or Canada.
wanting to spread the word elsewhere.
The Americas is probably just a better way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And to say, like, hey, this is what is really going on.
This was the most reasonable I've ever seen Nadine. Nadine's personality was nothing like that in any of the other books. Like, she was super humbled by this experience. Was
Yeah.
interesting.
Well,
Character growth.
what'd you say, Paige?
Character growth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jax like straight
Traumatic
up
experience.
like sold them to the gray market, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she was being tortured.
So it's like her alignments have shifted. And she can see where it should have been, but I totally understand why she didn't.
I was
And-
happy for the insight too, like about how she really wanted that Molisher position because she was trying to raise the money to get her and Zeke back home. That was insightful.
And that Zeke had wanted, like, that was his choice too. You know, he chose Nadine and Nick chose Paige. And it may have not been clear to Nick, but apparently it was clear to Zeke. Although I don't think that we knew as much about the inner dealings of their relationship because that was their personal, you know, Paige didn't know about all the personal stuff they talked about.
Right.
Jackson.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go to.
What a character. What a character. What a complex character. He's creepy.
And now what? He has her inheritance?
But he wants her to come for it. And he saved her. And he's still so proud of her, like a father ought to be.
Yeah. Paige's face. That's how I feel. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to be really honest. Like, when she had the chance to kill him, I wanted her to kill him.
Yeah. I think we all, I mean, I think that's a universal feeling because you know he's going to do it back. Like, he doesn't have the same qualms she does.
No.
He doesn't.
No, what
He
was
would
he
tell
saying?
her again.
Like a conscience is like a luxury for, I don't remember his exact wording, but
Yeah. No. So
I also
that's
think
the
that
thing.
put what
Huh?
Amy?
No. I was going to say, he doesn't have alliances with Nashira now. He's on Nashira's shit list. So where is he going to go now?
Okay, remind me why he's on her shit list.
Because he failed to keep Versailles safe. They mentioned it in the book.
Because
They said,
Shoal 2
yeah.
got burned down. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, now who's he going to weasel his way? What a guy. I'm very curious. I'm starting to like him, actually.
Oh, stop. Oh my gosh. No.
Good character, but it's like a character you're like, what the hell?
What's he like considered morally gray at this point? He's gray.
He's
Dark
gray. Yeah, I was gonna say, like slate gray, like super gray.
And I don't blame Arcturus for like not. I think they put him in a really bad spot, like in that moment of like, oh, I'm not gonna kill him, but you can. Like, I'll understand if you do. No, come on.
Yeah. No, and Arcturus is the things we want him to be, you know, and he does have a lot of respect for life, and I just love Arcturus.
This steamy scene of
Really,
this
what
book
gave
is
that
my
away?
absolute favorite.
I'm not saying he's perfection. I'm just saying, you know, he understands what kind of position he was put in. And he also knows that that wouldn't have been the right answer for him. Might have been the right answer for Paige, but it wouldn't have been the right answer for him.
I don't think it would have been helping her. I think that's something that if it ever comes down to it, that she's going to have to do for herself. Like, it's like what you were saying about the librarian fixing the kids' books on the shelf and like how they would have learned so much more if they had been able to fix their own dang books. Like,
Yeah.
it is the same thing.
Yeah. We had, I don't want to say conflict last week at school with the library, but my class got in trouble for being one of the worst behaved kids. But the thing is, mostly what happened is that they messed up one shelf in the library, and I didn't get to see it. I don't know what the extent of how it was messed up because the substitute librarian, fixed it and then came and complained to me, and I was like, how? I mean, I can tell the kids they shouldn't do that, but if you don't actually give me something for them to look at, they're not gonna learn it as well. They're not gonna learn how well they should. The extent of how wrong what they did was. If I didn't see it, they didn't see it. I can't make them put it back to rights. I just want to give context. I was frustrated because I'm like, yeah. So, yeah, that's right. No, you're absolutely right. Like, if he does it for her, it's kind of the same thing where she's not going to learn if he takes care of her problem and just cleans it all up for her. And this is twice now.
That she's had the chance.
Yeah, she couldn't. And then he turns around and he beats the shit.
Because in the rose ring, it took me a second. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and every single time, she can't do it, and then he just practically breaks her, and he's like, and no qualms. He's like, yeah, see, you should have done it. Look what you made me do to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking about some of the side characters. Whenever Cade came back around in the final chapters, I was like, wait, who's Cade? I had that moment of wait. And then, okay, then it all came back to me. But I feel like it was a little bit confusing. Cade being David previously. Now he's Cade. What are the chances that he's blood related to her? The whole kin thing, the kin on the palm and the I have a theory about that, but
and I think he was also trying to point out I'm a lot like you, meaning I'm a dreamwalker, hint hint hint.
Right. Yeah.
I loved that. I knew that motherfucker was slimy. Sorry, but I knew there was something up with him. I knew there was something. I knew she shouldn't have trusted him. I knew it.
I think
we wouldn't have plot progression if she didn't.
Yeah, I know.
I think I was just frustrated with her, even after the whole conversation that she had with Arcturus about there having previously been a dreamwalker. She's not the only one. She hasn't only ever been the only one. And for it to take her so long to make that connection of I think I'm frustrated that she wasn't open to it. That it was this big shocker that, oh, there's somebody else that can do what I can do,
Well, everybody has led her to believe that she is this amazing dreamwalker, that she is the only one. Jackson especially has led her to believe, you're the only one. You're so incredible. That's why I'm so invested in you. And she's the head of this, she's been made to be the face of this resistance. And I don't think that she had any idea that was a possibility. Because there's a little bit of not narcissistic, but she really does believe she's the only one right now, and I don't think she could imagine somebody else having that much control over the power either. she's been struggling so hard to have this much control. I don't know if she can imagine someone else by far surpassing her in the ability.
But then she knows that she's not that good.
Yeah, no, I know she knows that.
So it's like, why is this such a conflict for her brain? Because, and like you were saying, they had the whole conversation that she was not the only Dreamwalker, but I'm pretty sure towards the end there was also a point where she mentioned that she was one of her own, like she was the one of her kind. It's like, but you had this conversation that you weren't. You might be the one of a kind now,
right?
Because that's what you've been led to believe. But other people have been Dreamwalkers before. You know this. They just weren't titled as Dreamwalkers.
Yeah.
Why? And because I think it was after that conversation that she still mentioned that she was one of a kind. And I'm like,
but you're not.
And you know that you're not. But yeah, I think there was this slight restructuring for that.
Yeah. And Cade's been shady ever since we met him as David. Like, he's always hid what he was. Remember, Paige was the one who said, "Oh, you're an oracle, right?" Everybody always said, "Oh, he's the oracle." No, but he never ever said, "Oh, yeah, I'm the oracle." He never said what he was. He never went into detail about it. He never said how his powers manifest. Like, he didn't talk about anything. He was super shady. Because he knew the whole time that he was Dreamwalker.
So he's been living with Maynard or Menard or however you want to say it. Like, supposedly, like, has a relationship with Freyr.
Loose, yeah.
Yeah, loose. And then, like, so was he the one that kidnapped her at the end?
Yeah.
He's gone now.
Yeah. I mean, I got that. Wait, you don't think so, Paige?
Wait, I lost who's kidnapped? When were we kidnapping?
Do you think Cade? Because at the end, Luce was gone. She had been abducted by somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's where my brain's at. Were we supposed to be led to believe that it was Cade that took her?
There is something having to do with that baby. Because
Cade wanted to matter.
Huh? Yeah, why would it matter? Cade was sticking around specifically for that baby. He wanted that baby. What is that baby possibly a dream? Like, could it pop? Is there a way to see if that baby's going to be a dreamwalker and he can give the baby to Nashira so she can have the dreamwalker she wants? Like, because he doesn't want to lose him. He doesn't want to give his spirit, his soul to Nashira to make into her little. So, does he think, is this his, like, compromise with Nashira? Like, I am not going to let you kill me, but hey, I can make a baby and it'll probably be a dreamwalker. And let's see, if I make that baby, let's make a deal. You can have my baby and take its soul, and I'll help you out with this situation. I'll help you get Menard. I'll help you get Paige Mahoney. I'll help you with all these things. I just figured out the book. We don't have to read any more of the series.
But then, if it was a bub, she would have to wait.
Yeah.
So why would she take that trade when she has the opportunity just to try and catch her Paige or use Cade, I mean, yeah, there were a lot more endings in this book that we've still got a long way to follow with them.
Yeah.
And I think
for
this whole series, we have been, it's like, where is this going? That has been the question I think I've asked at every live, going, I don't know where we're going next. Like,
that's the thing. Like, as readers, we like to be able to come to our own, like what Amy just did. Like, we like to be able to to guess and like theorize and like there's been some of this that's just like way out there, man.
Well, who would have expected the very end bombing like that? Was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dude, the funny thing for me was I forgot that had happened because I was still so like wrapped up in what happened just before. I was like, I didn't even realize that they were bombed until we were speaking about it. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, that explains where she was looking.
Do you mean the whole
yeah.
like Arcturus betrayal thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to talk about that.
Running from that.
Yep, let's talk about it.
Like, okay. I never bought it. I never bought that was like truly him calling her like a flesh worm and like all these things and being like, oh, I was just using you the entire time. And oh, I've been on the side of Nashira like the whole time. And like, I think it really bothered me that she was so quick to be like, oh, he's just betrayed me. I've just
when
been a
she
fool
literally
this whole time.
acknowledges that the look in his eye was the same as when she dreamwalked. She explicitly said that his eyes
He
had
had
the
that
same
blank
flatness.
stare.
Yeah, that was the same. And it's like, so you know that shit's going on behind the scenes. So why hold that against him? Why consider that a betrayal?
And then, like I said in the chat, she made every decision, like from that point on, as if that were fact, and he was had truly betrayed her. Like, oh, Nadine and Zeke, you need to go and you need to warn the mime order, and just like,
I suppose the other aspect of it could be that Paige is playing along. Like, knowing that he needs to be rescued, but at the moment, she needs everyone to believe that she thinks that she believes that he's betrayed them. So then that she can continue doing the subterfuge and all of that and continue that on rather than going, oh no, actually. But then the sobbing to whatever his face under the bridge doesn't make sense because like that is a very emotive reaction when she knows that. But she could also have just been grieving the fact that he's had his body taken over. Like,
oh, Leander or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
So you must be thinking a little more subconsciously because we're not in her head, but we're kind of in her head. Maybe
that
subconsciously.
was my exact thought. There hasn't been any Paige internal struggle or whatever that we've not been
But she's been kind of dumb. Like, I think it's not surprising. I think the Paige we know, the Paige we've come to know, is a very suspicious Paige who's taken how many books to actually let Arcturus in and tell him how she feels. Like, it's not surprising. She is looking for reasons not to trust people. She's looking to be deceived. And
I just want to go.
I agree. The second that she thinks that she's not lovable, that that one person she believes she can trust now, she can't trust. The second they have the whiff of I could be lying to you, she goes, "You're right. Put up my boundaries. Put up my boundaries. Put up my boundaries. Everybody is always out to get me." That's like a pretty common reaction for people who really do struggle with trust like that. I'm generalizing.
It's like, but it doesn't, for me, it just infuriates me because we had that like, fuck yes moment when she was like, I'm not going to drown right now. This guy is not going to get away with torturing me. I'm working through this. I am a fucking boss ass bitch and I ain't going to die. And I'm like literally sitting on the couch going, woohoo! And Ash is like, what the fuck just happened? But then she turns around and the main thing that she was tortured with was that she's unlovable, that he would look at her like that, and to let that win, even though the words have come from his mouth, to let that win, it sort of undid that triumph over the trauma. And like, totally get it. Mental illness is a shit fucking place, and PTSD is not something you can just wahoo moment, we're done. It's a work in progress and will always be for the rest of your life. But it was such a disconnect from her growth in that moment to just revert back to being like, yeah, nah, I'm unlovable. This guy, the trauma guy's won because, like, you know, he said it, even though I can see that he's not. And it's like, yeah, cool. I know what I'm like when I'm not, when I'm being irrational. And I go back and I'm like, sorry, Ash, I was really not doing the thinky thing just then. Like, oops, my bad. But to that level, with the relationship that you've cultivated, like, it just, it just doesn't want it. I was just like, I can't. How can you not just accept that he's being, the light is by, and that's someone else speaking through him? I'm sure it hurts because you never want to hear that from your loved one. But also, you know this. Rationally, you know this.
Well, you know it hurts me because I love Arcturus. Like,
yeah, 100%. When I read it, I was like, oh, Amy's not gonna be. She's gonna be in pain.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I liked it. Like, I didn't like it, but I liked it. I really liked all the conflict in this one. I liked the the back and forths. I really liked all that stuff. Just was like, this is so effed up. I love it. I felt the opposite, Danielle. I could not put this book down, and I've had no problem I did put it down because I was only reading a certain number of pages a day, but I was excited to get to it every day, and I haven't felt that way about most of the other books. I'm like, I can get through this.
I think, yeah.
So for me, I had no problem getting through it.
For me, I'm wondering if one of the things that you're not enjoying about it as much, Danielle, is the fact that I feel like Samantha Shannon doesn't know where she's going with the plot. And if that is something that's like sitting there in your noggin going, I need more resolution, but we're not getting any because she doesn't know what she needs to wrap up in what books when.
Yeah.
I think that she is a pantser, not a plotter. And she's been contracted to these books, but doesn't have the end goal in sight as of yet.
I feel
Go. I
feel all of that.
The reason I trust her is because my my belief about the MM and the Rephaim in the first book, she finally revealed to us that was true. So, like, she had that idea in her mind this whole time.
I just don't feel like she left me enough.
Happen.
What'd you say, Paige? I'm sorry.
She wasn't originally contracted to the next books.
Okay.
She was contracted to 4 books for the Bone season.
I don't feel like she left me enough breadcrumbs this time. Like,
that's fair.
Okay, I see that.
And like, I have faith that I like her writing. Like, I trust that whatever she's going to put out, it's going to do the thing. But then I'm also like, she's rewritten parts of all 4 books so that the plot makes more progressive sense, which leads me to think that she's a pantser, not a plotter. Because if you have to go back and tweak the original work that you've done to make it fit for the upcoming books, you weren't thinking about the upcoming books, Paige. When you wrote them. Like, you will have key big moments. Like, I would assume that the Emin and the Raphael were, like, isn't it in the same name? But, like, you would have those crucial points, but maybe not, like, all the other subterfuge shit, which I feel was the stuff where I was like, where is this come from? What is wow, where is Michael?
Yeah, how come? Where is Michael?
Oh my gosh. Like,
Somebody took
I didn't
him.
even. Oh.
I don't know. But, like, you know, there are loose ends that
That's
we still
making it
haven't
worse.
seen.
It's still 5 stars. Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
like,
my
I'm still giving it 5
gosh.
stars.
Book.
Like, I'm getting a lot better in acknowledging it's, like,
There's
the things that I noticed that are just like, yeah, okay, I will give it grace, but also.
and it doesn't help that we don't get the next book until 2025. Like, that is cruel and unusual.
That was hilarious. So for anyone that hasn't seen Discord, there was a comment that we spot an ending. I think I have to agree and give this one 5 stars, and I need the next book soon. And to which I responded, "It's coming out 2025." And so they were like, "That's too far away," and I was like, "Apparently, we chose violence picking this series."
We did. We chose violence in picking this series. I mean, we did know that when we chose the series.
Yes, we did.
And yet,
And we knew that it was being rewritten or reworked, not rewritten. So there are going to be points that are going to be slightly shifted. So I really hope that people like put in the 10th edition the differences.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Ash is obsessed with the series, so she'll probably give us some indicators. I'm in the Bonathon Discord group as well, so when that they do all their discussions, I'll be able to see that and be able to draw a reference from it.
It's beautiful. The new,
It's stunning.
so pretty.
I
I'm
haven't
like,
seen it.
oh, I put a picture in the Discord.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Do you
stunning.
have any thoughts on any of the other new characters that we met? Like
Oh, lots. Yeah.
Didion Waite's brother, the manager, Lalatre, I don't know how to say it in French, the Queen of Coin, all these guys. Oh, that's
Stunning.
lovely.
And there's the Waterstones edition that Ash has got, and it's got the poppies as the sprayed edges.
Oh,
Oh,
nice. I love
Oh,
that.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it's and by Ash I mean Ash's adventures in books, not my Ash.
Got it.
I will refer to my Ash as partner Ash.
I liked all the new characters. I actually liked getting to know Ivy more because I feel like we didn't really get to know. She was kind of a shell of herself in the other books, and so getting to know her more in this stronger position, this stronger role, I really liked getting to know her better, and I think she's going to be a great ally, a great force joining our little group of people because she's becoming an inner circle kind of person.
One of the scenes that like really stuck out to me was when we got an inside look to Thuban and like exactly what he's all about and what she suffered at his hand. Like I was buying all that. He's bad. I bought that hook, line, and sinker. Like
He's
sadistic.
I loathe him.
I wanted him to be dead. Like I was like, kill him now. Oh, before we get into more of the other characters, because I want to talk about the other characters, but okay, so why did Cornephoros let her go? The Raphite, why did he let her go? He said he owed an oath. He made an oath, but who? To whom?
Oh, I missed that part. How did I miss that?
It was when
I
he was
remember the end scene and him being there, but I don't remember that part about the oath.
He touched her and it hurt her. He was touching her and it hurt her, and then he said, "Let me find it. Find it." It was close to the end, right? Right. No, not that far.
I'm trying to look it up on my ebook too.
Oh, here it is. That's Cade, Dukos. your person of interest page. Cade this, cade that.
There we go. I do this not as a favor to you, Cornephorus said, but to honor an oath of my own. He turned his back on me. No doubt I will see you again soon, Dreamwalker. Farewell.
Right.
The paragraph before that says he reached upward to where my chains were bolted to the wall. They gave way and jangled to the floor, and my arms fell heavily to my sides, numb and cold. I stared at him, lost. So probably a favor to Arcturus if I had to bet, but yeah, I completely missed that the first time.
Yeah, and I don't understand. So, okay, so here's my question. Cade comes up to her. She's realizing he's the Dreamwalker as he's coming up to her, and he gets inside her dreamscape, and she's out. She wakes up in the cell with Cornephorus, and he is released. So Cade came, dropped her off, and released Cornephorus. Why didn't Cornephorus attack Cade with all the torture that he had done to him? They make a deal?
I think because he freed David, Cade freed him.
Okay.
Like, for him, that's all he wanted. He would not torture someone, even though that he'd tortured him extensively, because he is free.
Okay.
And I reckon he's the kind of guy that will play the long-term game and fuck that shit up later in the piece. He will get his comeuppance for Cade, but right now he needed to be free. And if he tortured Cade, then it would have messed with everyone's plans, and then that would have been not good.
And clearly, Cade is a strong enough Dreamwalker that he can control Rethane's brains no problem. Like, no problem. He seems to have no problem. Like, whereas Paige struggled, he's like, bloop, 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 I'm in your head. I'm taking over. He was able to control Arcturus completely. Okay, so, but then Cornephorus hung out just to be able to, like, hey, Paige, I'm letting you go, but I'm going to see you again. Like, he just hung out there and waited for her.
Apparently.
Picturing him sitting there, twiddling his thumbs, going, oh, yeah, she's still breathing. Okay, just gotta keep waiting.
I could be running away so they don't catch me again, but, I want to get this final little bit in. I'm going to have the final word.
All of a sudden, the picture of that is cracking me up. Sorry. Just seems strange. Because he's free. Like he's free to go. But he hangs out. But then Cade attacks. So I'm assuming Cade is the one who had. Because Cornephorus was still in the cell with Paige. Cade must have been the one who, after he dropped Paige off there, he attacked the son, it was the son and the other lady, and stole loose with the baby. The daughter was still there. The father was still there. Right? That's what I'm assuming happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do we think of the other characters then? How about just the whole crew? The what do we call them? Leander and
The Perdues, the Lost.
Perdues, thank you. The Lost. What do we think of them? Our French crew. No thoughts? No notes?
I don't know.
I missed her OG team.
Right.
I like this group. I'm like, screw the old team. I like this group.
I was sad Mel Purdy died. I thought he had potential. Yeah. Leander, he's like a tough nut.
Mm-hmm.
The old orphan is, I don't know if that's the right translation, but he makes me nervous. Yeah, he makes me nervous. Him with his like perma mask and I don't know. I don't know.
And who else was there? There were quite a few in that group. I forget
The
their
Queen
name.
of Coins. The Queen of Coins. Oh, the guy who had to use sign language.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Ku.
Yeah. You're remembering all the names. Good job.
I was dedicated. Like, uh,
I liked this group. I liked this crew. I was
oh,
happier with them. I was so frustrated.
Reneld too. Also, Reneld.
Oh yeah, no. I was so frustrated with the crew in England, the crew in London. They were such assholes. Not our crew, not like, not her immediate crew, but just the people in general in London. They were none of them trusted her. They were all jerks. They were all like, and I felt like this group, not all the people in France, but I felt like this group of producers, I felt like they were solid. Like, and I think that they're going to be a good group to go into war with. Whereas I wasn't liking the London. I think I just didn't like London. I mean, I love London, the city, but I wasn't liking. But that was my least favorite book.
That's fair.
And part of it was because I was so frustrated with the clairvoyants there. I just thought that they weren't as solid.
Oh, the dragon. That was who else? Sorry, my brain's still just going, trying to gather this crew all together.
I liked how they took. Oh, I love the whole scene with Didion Waite when he came. Oh, I love that scene. That was great.
I actually did enjoy that.
It was hilarious. I was cracking up actually, and he was so like, obviously does not love his brother.
Oh yeah, and we didn't talk about what's his butt being the man in the iron mask.
Oh, I loved that too. Like I hated it, but I loved it. Like I thought that
I didn't.
Albert.
I don't know. I don't know if I mean, I get it, but I don't feel like I was overly impacted by it.
Oh, I loved that. That was actually like I don't want to say it was a gasp moment, but I realized, and I was like, what? Because I really liked him as a character. I liked him as a character when in London. Like he was one of the characters that I really ended up liking. And so when he ended up being this awful, disgusting, mysterious, and like I think of the Man in the Iron Mask as being disgusting. Because remember, he was always smelly. He was always like, they always said like, oh, I can't. He's just dirty and gross, and because he chose the places he chose his lairs to be places that were in places where people didn't want to go. And yet then you compare him to the Albert that was part of the Spiritist Club, and I thought that was fascinating. I loved that connection. And he turned into this awful, greedy, like this jolly Santa guy was all of a sudden this snake. It was awesome. I loved that. Yeah. Yeah, I know this was a 5-star. Can you tell? I'm just like, I love that horrible, horrible stuff. It was so good. There were times I wanted to throw my book, especially with all the Warden stuff, the Arcturus stuff, and yet I was like, and yet I'm still having so much fun. Sorry. Not sorry.
It's okay. I'm glad. Like I'm not upset at all that the majority of everybody seemed to enjoy it. I feel like I had critical eyes with this one. So that's not always fun, but
yeah. Well, and I agree with what Paige, what you guys were saying. Like, it is. There's a lot of loose ends. There's still so many loose ends, and we have no clue where they're going to go. We have no clue where the story is going to go, and it's not. It's definitely a she's making it into this bigger and bigger story with bigger and bigger, it's not as clear where it could possibly go. And it just seems like we keep adding more characters. We keep adding more situations. We keep adding more and more and more and more and more. And that's a lot.
Yeah.
There are a lot.
And will she be able to tie it all together? I hope so. Otherwise, we'll be very disappointed going forward.
As far as like Domino is concerned, and like Isora Ducot and like Cordier and like all them, like, okay, to me, Cordier is suspicious. Okay, she's sus. Like, I feel like she's got something going on. But like Ducot, like, I was so trusting of her. Like, and I really hope she's like a legit good guy, honestly. Like, I would continue reading, like, just to find out, like, if she's like
The good guy.
if she's a good guy. Yeah.
And I think that's another reason why I liked this one so much, is I really like the spy bend to it. Like, I loved adding. I mean, granted, I don't think there's in any sense of the word Paige can be a spy, but I liked that aspect being added to this, just because it's something I enjoy. I had fun reading that stuff, and I like Duco, like you said as well. Cordier, I'm still curious who. We didn't find out who let them know that Arcturus was there, right?
We didn't talk about Stephane either, or Stephanie, or I don't know how you say their name, but like,
Yeah,
I don't know. They played into this too.
did.
I was so frustrated with Paige though, because I would be all about like, okay, Domino, I have this assignment. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna complete my assignment. I'm gonna check off this box. But no, Paige is like, okay, I'm gonna do that, but I'm also gonna do this thing that could completely just blow the whole entire operation. Like, oh, Paige, just go do the thing. Like,
You would be a good spy, Danielle.
amazing. I would be amazing on Domino. Like, I would be all about that.
Oh, that's too.
Just go do the thing, Paige. I don't know.
Give us some insight, Paige.
Who, what? Sorry?
I said, give us some insight, Paige.
Yeah, nah. I'm controlled by emotion rather than logic. If I can think of a slight justification to manipulate the situation to work out better for me, I'ma take it. I'm not gonna think through the consequences of those decisions. I don't need to. Whatever happens, happens. I don't trust anyone anyway.
And it was so funny when she's trying to when she's trying to justify to Warden to Mark Arcturus, she's like, I don't go into these situations thinking I'm going to do these things. It's just that when an opportunity shows itself, I take it. And I'm like, but there's a part of your mind that knows you're going to go that extra step. You already know so you're lying to yourself, if not also to Arcturus. Like, you know. Yeah. Let's not. I mean, we're not fools. Don't keep fooling. Like, don't keep trying to fool us. Like, my students that blatantly lie to me in my face, and I'm like, what do you think I am? I've been around the block. We're gonna say, Danielle, I'm sorry.
When she left herself on that roof out in the cold, like when she went back into Hotel Garouche or whatever, and like, and nobody was keeping track of her body, and like, I just, those moments make it really hard for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, let's not beat around the bush. Paige is a dumb fuck. And 4 books in, she hasn't gotten better.
No, she's very dependable in her character.
And in that moment, like, to me, like, she's in a relationship with Arcturus, okay? And they're like building their trust, and they're like building all these things, and she knows like how worried he was whenever she was like getting waterboarded and all these things, and then she's like, "Oh, well, it's okay. I'm not even gonna talk to him about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and let myself be captured." Like,
Yep. Oh
mm,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not thinking of anybody but herself. She's really not thinking of anybody but there's a little bit of narcissism, I think, in our Paige Mahoney. And a little bit there. Yeah.
mm.
A little bit. A little bit.
So when I was like, let's not beat around the bush, Alice's just gone, that's not a nice way to talk about yourself. I know. Just speaking it as it is.
Yeah. What happened in the beginning of this? Oh, there's just so much that happened in this book. It just went from one thing to the next, the next, the next. In the end, you're like, whoa!
I mean, we did build off of the Dawn chorus, like, and
Yes.
her
Do you-
recovery
I
and everything.
suppose-
I actually was really glad we read that. Yeah, it gave me a lot of perspective on her, like, recovery, and made
suppose
that part
that's
of it make sense. What'd you say,
That's a
Paige?
big question. Is would you recommend that you have to read it?
Oh, no, you don't have to, but I think
Because
I'm
a lot
glad
of
I
people
did.
can't get access to it. Like, or they have to
Oh.
pay for
Hmm.
the ebook, or I don't think there's an audiobook. So if people can't read an ebook or it itself, it's completely inaccessible to them.
I think you can get away without reading it,
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
but I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I was able to read it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because it really does go over. Because she does jump from we're here. She does in this. She starts us off with we're here. We're coming to Paris. To then half a month later. And if you really want to know what's happening, you don't have to know what happens. It's a recovery period. But that whole book, Dawn Chorus is all about what happened to her while she was being waterboarded, and then how it was kind of like a reflection of what had happened before and how that's all tied to Arcturus and sort of how
Yeah.
she able to
It
heal.
built on their relationship too. Like, him being there for her, and like being patient with her, and like seeing her at her worst, and like yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't have to read it though. No, you don't have
No,
to read it. That's one that you don't have to read. But
I agree.
if you can, it just I liked it, and I think that it gave a lot of insight to a lot more of the inner workings of what's going on with Paige, which we don't always get, because we get certain times when we don't get as much of, like, the whole end of this. She was kind of in a funk, in a daze, and we didn't really get as much of what was going on. She was just sort of reacting. She wasn't actually thinking through a lot of the things she was doing, and so, like, it's nice to get a bit of an insight. And she was also going over Samantha Shannon was also going over scenes that had happened in Shoal 1 that we didn't actually get to witness. She was going over certain things
Oh
that.
man, I forgot about that.
That
Like
was
that
one
whole
thing
like
that
hallucination that she had, like that
Yeah.
with her dad.
Mhm.
That was yes. I enjoyed that. That was good stuff.
I think for me, my brain didn't like the non-linear
Mm.
process of the Dawn Chorus, but that was the only thing I didn't like about it. It was just like, who am I? Where am I? It was sort of how it felt, because we were jumping back and forth and they weren't that linear. Like, we're jumping back to her healing, but then jumping back, like, there was shifts. And so my brain was just like, I'm confused, but okay.
And I think that was Samantha Shannon's attempt at a fever dream, sort of,
That makes sense. I don't like books that are fever dream. I really struggle with that. I don't find it comfortable to read. I still really loved it. And it was more like, okay, I'm focusing on this memory, and this memory is this memory. And then I'm going to go away and then come back and read the next section and sort of distance myself. So I could just frame it in my head as like one chunk, which, yeah, I know that about myself, and it's not my favorite kind of reading experience, but it was still good, and I liked getting all of the backstory and all of that.
Yeah,
This is kind of reminding me too, like, okay, so we received like the little wooden box or whatever came like from her dad, right? I feel like I was really expecting more out of all that, especially with like everything we learned. Like, there's honeybees on the cover of the book. Like, we learned that her grandmother called her honeybee. Like, I think I was just expecting there to be like some kind of tie-in, some kind of, everything we were like anticipating that her dad like potentially already knew about her. I feel like I really got let down, like,
You were hoping for
as
that.
far as all that goes. Yeah, I don't feel like we got like that insight that I was craving into who she is, and like even that coming from her family and like the people that knew like where she came from, you know.
Well,
I have a
apparently Samantha
question.
Shannon hasn't come up with that yet.
I told you.
I don't know if that's true. I know that there is an inheritance, so her dad is not out of the picture yet. He is in living, but I mean, like, his legacy of some sort has been left behind. Of course, Jackson would make himself be the controller of that because he is manipulative as
AF.
AF. Sorry, go Paige. What's your question?
Off of that, when do you think we're going back to Ireland?
Oh, we have to. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got 5, 6, and 7.
Oh, my God.
What do we think? Where do you think we're gonna go?
I don't think we're ready to go there yet. I think 6. Or we finish out the series in Ireland. That would be full circle. That makes sense. Okay, Ireland.
See, I had it either 6 to liberate, and then 7 is going back to London and completely burning it to the ground. And number 5 is going to be the US.
What do you think, Danielle?
I like Paige's setup. I
Boom. Or it is the conclusion, like they've gathered all their forces together from America and Australia in book 5 and 6, and then they go to Ireland to free it.
I'm just gonna say this now. Like, I'm gonna need somebody to hold my hand through book 5, or right, 5.
We got you. We got
gosh.
you. It'll be a side quest.
Yeah, we're gonna have to side quest it.
I'm not gonna be able to do it on my own. I can already tell you that right now. This will not happen if I'm left to my own devices. Like, not at all.
This time next year, we'll be planning for our 2025 bookStara schedule, and we can be like, yeah, cool. All right, let's schedule
Squeezing it in. Yeah, I actually like that idea.
Let's make it we'll make it a month where we do the
I like
book.
that idea a lot. That would be good.
That's something to look for. Like it could be like, okay, the release date.
We don't even have a title.
Oh, does it not?
No,
not that I know.
Yeah, I reckon it will come out like midway through next year in terms of building hype, cover reveal, and title, and all of that.
I will say, now that we've been talking about this for like an hour, I will say that reading this and reading Ship of Destiny in tandem was not a good idea, because they do not compare at all.
Yeah.
And so, that probably did make the Mass Falling look like crapola. But
that's fine.
This is a big book. It's a big book.
Yeah.
Chunky book.
And so he says, probably waiting 10 years for the rest of the series to come out. Oh my gosh.
I can give
Life's
you
too
an
short.
answer.
Look, Alicia.
Really late. Hey, you. Oh yeah. Thank you for putting that on.
Oh.
It's so cool.
You're going to have to come back and watch the replay for sure. Yeah. Alicia.
There's all my cracks. The cracks in the paint.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I didn't ask you, did you actually paint this thing?
Yes, I just did. Right when I got off of work today, I came home. I painted it in the last hour and a half before the show.
She's just
I'm impressed.
amazing. Yeah, let's just be real. Amy is
Amazing.
amazing.
So
Um,
We love Black Moth.
Book 5's due to come out in 2025. Book 6 is 2026. And Book 7 doesn't have a expected publication date.
that's
But
just
the
rude.
Bone season came out in 2013. So we've got the 10-year anniversary of this one.
Love it.
It's amazing. So we shall see.
I feel like this is leading up to a sit down with Samantha Shannon. Like, we need to talk.
I mean, I should tag her in my mask, and then
Yes, you should.
and then tag her, introduce her to our video, to our
And be like, oi, bitch, right faster.
We need to speak about
hello.
She just made the announcement that she finished the rewrite of the rest of the series and said they will be out in 2024.
And they're coming out in both hardcover and paperback, whereas it wasn't originally signed to do the hardcover 10-year rewrite one, whatever. Only the first one was. And she managed to convince the publishers it's done so well that they have decided to do it in both hardcover and paperback. So anyone that bought the hardcover for the 10-year anniversary can get the matching series. And most of the series will align to the covers for these series, so that you can get your matchies.
Okay. I mean, I was like, there's no way I'm going to do that. But then when I saw that cover,
it's stunning.
I was like, oh my gosh, that is such a beautiful book. Just
I
saying.
find it funny because, like, I was watching BookTube when the Bone Along was happening for the first, like, when The Mask Falling was coming out, and they all reread them in prep. And that was in 2021, so I can't imagine how much pain these people have been in with the pushbacks for book 5, 6, and 7 as well. Because it was originally supposed to be coming out this year, and then she did Priory and Day of Fallen, and now it's the rewrites.
Wow.
They must have been in agony.
And that was all just because of publishing problems, wasn't it? Or at least the...
Yeah, they didn't want to release it in the same time because it would overshadow one or the other. They wanted to keep it independent so they could maximize the amount of sales. Because publishing's a business.
Should have invited her to the live show.
No. We got to get better at, like, we're not good at reaching out to people.
She said they will potentially still do book 5 in the original covers for people trying to finish their matching of the originals. But that's stupid. Why not do through... Oh, sorry. Oh, I have opinions. Help me.
I have
saying, like, why
opinions.
not do through book 7? Like, that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
So it must be all the way through, right?
Not necessarily. They can drop it at any time.
That's just not fair.
Because that's Brandon Sanderson in Australia. They're no longer publishing.
Oh, she's explaining for my tiny rant.
So it was 5. Thank you.
Because it was only supposed to be 5.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine.
Yeah, Sanderson's not getting the same. He's just like, yeah, we're going to just go with the American or edition. So if you've got any of the UK ones, they're no longer going to match, and we're stopping that halfway through. The Secret Project's being released as well, so you won't get them in Australia.
The UK ones are better looking, anyways.
Yep, that is correct. Book Legends and Lattes. I can only get the American cover now, not the brown one that I've got.
Speaking of which,
that an arc?
Nope, it's a limited edition. It's the deck. Okay, I don't mind deckled edges. I'm not a person that hates deckled edges. It's a Barnes & Noble limited edition. But these deckled edges are really long, so when they fold over, it's weird. And it has...
Yeah, I've got something like that. Ooh! Ooh, pretty. It looks so scalery. Alexa, no
And
thank
it's
you.
not supposed to technically be out until November 6th or something. But
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Zoe's weighing in on
Mm.
the bone season. Oh, bookshop and bone dust.
Because yeah, my bone season series doesn't match because my bone season's like one of the earlier editions and then the rest of the new white ones. And like I could buy the first one again, but I like the edition that I have. It just doesn't match the rest of them.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh yeah.
Fun fact, this is not something that I get hung up on.
That's fair.
Have you seen the 10th year anniversary? I was like, oh, that is such a beautiful book.
Of what?
Let's look at it again.
Ooh.
Oh. You're so funny. That's amazing.
It is such a beautiful.
Mine's the first edition of the paperback. Like this is what it was originally published as.
Yeah, I like that.
Look
better.
at that. Wow.
Yeah, I do like that.
I don't know what.
And then they made it the condensed little one where the big circle was there, and then they made it the white ones. But there's also been 124 different editions of it created. That is including of other languages as well.
That's what Zoe was saying. Like, there's so many different.
And that's just the first book. Yeah, it's nuts how much this has been redesigned. And okay, it is what it is, but also just like I know a lot of people that would be very, very upset. Like Ash. Woohoo! That is amazing.
Don't forget, when you start reading it, Alicia, you gotta let us know in the 10-year anniversary section what kind of changes there were. Unless I see it for 50% off at Target and then I'm buying it.
See, I don't know if I could do that to myself because, like, while I'm not, like, silly about the different, not silly, but, like, while I'm not, like,
You don't care about the other different editions of things.
yeah, I would have to, like, to have, like, the revised version and, like, the original version. I would have to have them, like, open at the same time, and I would have to be like, that's the same. That's the same.
Or can I offer an alternative to that?
Yes.
Could you listen to the updated audiobook whilst looking at the original edition so you can
That
just
would
hear
be
the
very
difference?
wise. That would be very wise, Paige. Thank you for looking out for me because I need help, obviously.
I mean, I've done it before. I've listened to where the audiobook doesn't match the physical and it trips my brain. Like, it is a horrible reading experience when you're not prepared for it. Like, I think I got a US audiobook, but I was reading a UK version. And so the language that they used was completely different. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm reading right now. The words don't make sense. There are sentences that are not sensiting.
Sentencing. I know I need to read it soon so I can remember what the first book was about. Oh my gosh. I'm planning to read the 10th anniversary one in November, Danielle. Oh, hi. I'm Danielle.
That's too much.
I do things. Oh, I mean that, like, but that's like me and having to look up the freaking French. Like,
And I'm like, eh.
I speak some Spanish. Like, I can understand some Spanish just from my 3 years of Spanish in high school. But, like, I don't know any French, you guys. And I'm, like, looking at this book and I'm going, okay, but if I don't look that up right now, I feel like I'm missing out on something really important. It was so distracting. It was so distracting.
I remembered enough French from, like, I didn't know everything that was written, but I knew enough to be able to, like, deduce. Like, okay, I think this is what that says. And I'm too lazy to go. I mean, sometimes I will go and look, but it didn't throw me off. So, but I think it helped that I had French in high school. So,
Even today, like, when I knew I needed to get it done so we could talk about it, I was like, okay, I'm just going to read and I'm not going to look up any French. I'm just going to read. I'm just going to make my best guess. And I couldn't do it.
This is why we need to get you to read this on your Kindle, so then you can just hit it, highlight the word, and do lookup or
What?
translate.
I did. I did on my on Scribd. I was able to highlight it and then press search, or like not
And it
search
would
but
pop
look
up.
up,
Yeah.
and then it would pull up the internet, but I still had to type translate like in front of it.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
So, yeah, that happened.
But you got there.
I
I
did.
need to know the next series how now to read. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we need to
yes.
also.
We actually, okay, I
Yeah,
don't know
we
what
also need to know.
happened, but we had some ideas, and I typed them on my notepad on my phone the last time we spoke after the sprints, like after we had gone off of the live part of that, and I typed them in my notes on my phone, and they're gone. So
My
if you
memory's a sieve, and I don't remember anything anyway.
if you
So
have
that's always
I was
helpful.
gonna say, like, there's only 4 people watching right now. If you have a series that
Season
you
series
would like us to
broken.
consider for next
Broken
year, please leave that in the comments right now.
No, I can't do the
Because
Broken Earth. That is too big brain energy.
was that the 5th season stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I can, but
It is a big brain series.
And then we
Have
also
you read
talked
the
try
about,
first one?
something different. Yeah.
We can do something.
And I would need to reread
I for me, you guys, we need to do something besides YA fantasy.
What about A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
If you want to, go for
I
it.
Wait, you've already
I've
read
never
that
read
page, or
No.
any interest?
Chill.
I would read it.
You're chill.
Yeah.
But
How long is it? I'll look it up.
I don't think it's a finalized, like, they do pop-ups of in the world, but
No, not.
it's the main trilogy.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that case we may have to. I mean, I don't know.
They might. No, actually, I was just thinking of Killjoy, which was the like little World Book Day thing that it popped out as. Yeah, it's only the trilogy. Plus that World Book Day that doesn't matter, so you don't have to read it.
But
it's just a trilogy.
You said you're chill, but does that mean you'd be interested in reading it at all?
Yeah, I just don't own them.
The first one.
3 primary works, 8 total. What does that mean? Oh.
They come in a box set. And
yeah, never mind. Just 3.
If we've got that trilogy.
Oh, here, look, we have feedback.
Alicia and Zoe would like to put.
I love that series. I will reread that for sure. A good choice. See, I'm so glad. Okay.
The page.
Oh, did Alicia and Zoe or anyone else watching have something that's like a trilogy or a quartet that they would like to?
Because we could potentially do 2, like especially if they're, that one's only 3 books. So
preferably one that are not ongoing, so we don't cause you physical pain. like we did.
Yeah, we learned our
Let's
lesson.
clarify that.
We learned our lesson really,
I
really
gave
good.
another YA. Should we think about adult series?
Oh man, adult. Oh, Zoe.
She
Wait.
went for.
No, I
She
said
went there.
this. I actually
You said
said that.
You said Jade
Yes.
City. You did.
You both, yeah.
I mean, I'm
Maybe
interested,
Seems
but
conflicted.
Paige seems very going.
Oh, it's fine. It's just they're fucking huge. Like, I'm fine with it. I will read it. It's not a worry.
I really want to read the Malice series. Just saying.
Wait, what? What did you just say?
Malice by John Gwynne. That series. What is that series called?
Yeah.
It's also huge. The Faithful and the Fallen series.
These are also. Hang on. Let me show you my thing.
If we're talking big books, let me just
Okay.
tell you the one.
So there's also only 3 of these. So we could do 3 and
It would be cool
3.
doing the Good Girls and then Jade City because they are so different from one
Different.
another.
Yeah. Let's see. Alicia agrees about this. I'm about to start Malice. I need to read it. I have the first one. I don't even know what that is, you guys.
They're at least 700 pages plus per book, I think. That or I'm exaggerating to scare the shit out of you.
These are what?
These are also not small. They're like
They're big too.
I think
What does
I'm
it say?
60.
Oh, here, 560.
The first one in Malice is only 672, not 700.
It's 672.
First
That
one.
is close enough.
Which one? Which one is the Malice one? Is it this one, the Faithful and the Fallen?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. The second one is 680, still not 700.
Faithful and the Fallen, 672.
The third one's 768.
Fair. And there's 4 in that one, so it would take us, we wouldn't be able to do 2
4
series.
primary works. Okay.
Well, I mean, if it's a
And
3
they're
or
all
4.
out, though? Ruin, Wrath.
The series is done.
Okay.
But I would be into reading the Jade War series also. Jade City, Jade something.
Yeah.
Paige, you haven't got to make any like suggestions. Give us some suggestions. What do you think?
I have
It's called
no brain.
the Green Bone Saga, is what it's called.
Yeah. What's her face is getting me to read the Poppy War.
Mm.
So
we did mention the Poppy War.
Hurt me. I don't know if it's
is that the Kwong one?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a
It's
dark
good,
series. It's a dark series.
dark.
Yeah,
Like
it's very
animal
dark.
cruelty in the first book.
Oh.
Like, it's rather intense. It's a good
not
book,
selling
but
me.
it is intense.
There's a lot more than animal cruelty in that one.
In the so what? Who? What? What did you say?
There's a lot. There's animal cruelty, but there's a lot more than animal cruelty in the first one too. It's very.
Whew. Yeah. No. I'm like. I don't really have any series that I'm like thinking on. That...
Look. Poppy War was rough.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I want to do that to myself.
No.
And that was the only reason why I was like, I don't think this is going to be your book that you would enjoy. Like, I would rather us read the 20 Man series together.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, like, that's an option. I mean, I'm just going to say, I'm going to read it no matter what. I'm for sure reading it with Chaz. But, like, if we can make it a group thing, how far are you, Amy?
The only problem is that it's like, is everybody else as far as us in the series? Because that's not a series you can read if you haven't read the first series. You have to have read. It's not like Live Ship. Live Ship you can read on its own. You don't have to have read anything else.
Well, that's
Man, you have to.
That could be. I could make a side quest channel for that. Like anybody that wanted to join us. Yeah. Me and Chaz. That's one of our plans for 2024. That's happening.
I'd reread the first one. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have any series that I'm like, I don't know if they're ending, and if I was to suggest them, and then it's sort of just like
Well,
So if we, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I agree with you, Paige, that it would be cool to do something like Jade Bone Saga trilogy, Jade City, and Good Girls Guide to Murder, where we have completely different length as well as type.
So would we alternate, or what are you thinking?
Oh,
I'd
that's hard.
say
Or like
I'd
this
go-
on one half of the year and this on the other half of the year kind of
Yeah.
thing?
I
Or
think alternating would just.
be confusing.
Oh, how did we? Because it was
We alternated before.
Deborah and
Oh,
Shadow.
How was that?
That was
wait.
Yeah, that was okay.
We did Discovery of Witches, and what else did we do?
Shadow Hunters.
Oh, and
City
we
of Brass,
alternated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'd still
I don't know.
think it
I
might
think-
work better to.
Yeah, I think I would like to split them up.
That's the 7th book in the Hobbs series, Alicia. Like in the overarching series, it's the 7th book.
So you would have had to read Farseer, and not necessarily Live Ship Traders, but like definitely
There's a lot
Farseer,
of stuff
right?
that's relevant. There's stuff that's relevant.
Yeah.
That series is
So
one
in
where
order, it's Farseer trilogy,
Mhm.
Live Ship Traders, and then Tawny Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's stuff in Live Ship Traders that was so like it was like because I had read Farseer and I was able to tie things together. If I hadn't read Farseer, they wouldn't have been quite as impactful. Those things.
And I
Okay,
feel
I
that-
agree with this. I agree. Don't
Okay.
alternate. I think we should try not alternating.
Okay, I like that. So then we can get our
Yay! We have a
announcement
plan.
videos out.
Oh, I'm excited. That's good. So yeah.
So
So then if it's is it going to be 3 and 4? So we'll have to figure out like
it'd be 3 and 3.
oh,
If
it's 3
it's
and 3.
Jade City
Oh.
and Good
Well,
Girls,
then we
there's
can
only
still do
3
every
in
other
each.
month.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. That'll be good for us
I
because I feel like every other month works better for us.
Yeah.
It's not so stressful.
Depending on like summer break, Amy, for you guys, I'd be tempted to start in January, so then we don't have a book in December. We'd finish in November, doing it every other month, but I'm not sure where that falls for your holidays.
Oh yeah, I would rather do that because I don't want one in December. December's hard for me because of my advent calendar challenge.
Yeah.
So it would be January, March, May, July, September, November.
So
Does
we can
that
do
fall?
Beautiful.
and then do the announcement. I'll do my announcement video in November.
Alicia
Yep.
and Zoe are like getting an inside look on the on our planning process. This is the chaos.
Through November for bookStara. And it's
Since they are getting that inside, do you guys
What else is
want to
here?
pick which
Sandy
ones we
still here?
start with?
Oh.
I have zero preference, but if you guys have a preference for what you'd prefer, totally happy for you to select.
That's perfect.
Woo!
Love it. Okay. Do you have a preference on which one we start with?
Is there one that would work better for your break?
What do you mean?
Like summer break?
Would you prefer to have big chunkies after or during?
Probably the Green Bone Saga over summer break, I would say.
Yes. So yeah, January, March.
Andy is still here. There she is.
January, March, May would be
Good Girls.
would be the Good Girls. Yeah, I would prefer that.
Okay.
And then March, May, July. That's actually not much of the summer. And November.
Would that be better?
Actually, I would prefer it the other way around.
Yeah. No. That's cool. Being the lighthearted, not as
So
brain
do the Green
intense.
Bone Saga first.
Yes.
And then starting in January, and then
Yeah.
and we're
So
all
then-
in every other
your
month.
school prep's already done.
Yeah. If I hope to have a full-time job in the fall, then I won't have to stress so much about.
Cool.
Chunky books first. Love it.
Okay.
Knock
That's
them
easy.
out.
Because I'll just be substitute teaching until I get a full-time job. So subbing, it won't be as stressful, unless I get classes full of kids that are rough. But that's just a
The nature of the game.
Yeah.
You're gonna be amazing.
You is.
This week, not Monday, but the rest of this week, I feel like I agree with you.
Yeah, I think. Yes, I think.
That's good too.
I think carrying on right away in January will be good. I
Yeah.
think.
Start the year off with a bang.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think so too.
All right, you guys. I'm excited too. I'm gonna have to get something to eat.
That's fair. I'm just going to go have an existential crisis about my goals for next year.
Oh,
I'm hugging you.
well, we're here in the group
Thank you.
chat if you need us.
If anyone would like an insight, I'm doing a challenge where 12 delightful individuals get to pick series for me to read.
Series for you to read?
It's series. That is the word. Yep, that is the word. They do have a cap for the number of books I have to read
Mrs.
in that
Chaos.
series. But I'm also trying to only start a maximum of 20 series next year. Why do I do this?
Intervention!
I'm gonna just
Oh wait, I'm sorry, Alicia, I missed yours. Sounds
Very well.
fun. I know. I now know what to pick. Oh. For Paige's series? Maybe you're gonna help her out. Is that what you're saying?
Ah, that's a good idea. Zoe, which one are you gonna pick? The other one.
Oh, I love it.
I'm just gonna be crying under the table now. It's fine.
Where did she go?
Delightful.
She melted into the floor.
Melted into the floor. I don't know why people do these things to themselves.
You know, I'm asking myself the same thing. But here we are.
Speaking of series, how's it going, Danielle? Because I know that you got kind of. I mean, I know you're probably going to be putting out a video soon. But
oh, Paige has left the building. So it's going super good. Okay, mostly I'm super glad to be done with The Mask Falling because now I can commit all my energies to finishing Ship of Destiny.
You got this.
I've got this. I've got this. And then, I don't know, if I happen to knock out 200 plus pages this weekend, then there's still time for a middle grade, and then we'll get to draw a book, and it's going to be amazing. And then we're going to start again, and I have to, come up with my November board because, yeah, I'm going to do that. So, yeah, it's happening. We're doing the things. We love doing the things. I could be kind rather than mean. I vote kind.
I sent Zoe a message. If you are kind, feel free to fuck me up with the life challenge. Or feel free to fuck me up with both. It's fine.
Chaos, okay?
Chaos incarnate.
She likes it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I will be totally having a nervous.
Is that you stirring the pot?
Next year. Just highlighting the.
Now you're making me hungry, though, Danielle. Thinking about.
All right.
No, I need to eat. I love you,
food.
but I need to eat.
That's
bad.
Hey, did you notice we had a lot to talk about with this book, though?
We really did, and that's something good about this book.
And more of this in 2025.
We'll have. Huh?
For 2020, we will have a lot to talk about in 2024.
And maybe by then we'll have the guts to message Samantha Shannon and ask her to be part of her live
Oh,
show.
I have the guts right now. I just didn't even think about it. Like,
All right, Danielle's up to the task.
let's talk about where we're going with this and how you need to stop being a panster.
Accurate.
That's amazing.
I will help you outline it. Like, if you need me, I am here.
We will support you, man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's too funny.
I'll tag her in. I'll take a picture in this and I'll tag her and be like,
Please.
who else has done this? Who else has done this? And then should get that bridge open. Get that bridge open between us, Samantha Shannon, and then Danielle comes in for the kill. I mean,
Let's talk.
The connection. Yeah.
This is a friendly conversation about what the hell you're doing.
Maybe somebody who gave her a 5-star should contact her.
Oh, you're right. Okay, fair enough.
No, I'm just kidding. This is great.
I like that we have variety though in our
Oh, I love that too.
always.
Yeah. That's important.
Always.
Yeah.
And we're comfortable enough with each other to like this is a safe space to have a different opinion, and that's amazing. I love that so much.
I'm gonna go on your next vlog, and I'm gonna recommend that you should read Jade City for January.
Hey.
Oh, that would work out really good.
That would be very fortuitous.
Definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
Can I also do it? And then it goes in the bucket twice. Does that count?
Yeah. Yes.
Woo!
All right, everybody.
We're setting you up for success. Oh, it doesn't
Jade City, here I come.
Be the first book that you read, or can you read it throughout the month so then you can actually,
I was trying to decide about that. Like, do I read them in the order that I draw them out of the bucket? Or do I just draw them out of the bucket and then give them an order?
How good's your reading when you have that structure of I'm reading this and this and this and this? Or do you go, nah, I don't want to read any of it because it's too locked in?
I don't know. Lately, I'm learning that I do just fine as long as I can just focus on one at a time.
No, then that might actually work. Well, you can draw them out and then put them in the order that you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can also just
draw them. Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's too funny.
Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you. What a fabulous
each and every one of you, and we're so excited to read with you in 2024. If you missed it, we're reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and The Green Bone Saga. In that order? No, in that opposite order.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your help, helping us pick, because we've been over this multiple times and have still not been able to come to a firm decision.
We were just sort of like.
So, yeah, we appreciate you so much. Thank you, Zoe, for being here. Alicia, Sandy. We will see you guys in January.
Next year.
Exciting.
I could come as a green